Is it still a good idea to buy the 8GB RTX 4060 Ti to play the latest games at 1080p in the last quarter of 2024? Or is it too weak to deliver a good experience? Let's find out. To test it out, I've paired the MSI Gaming X Trio 4060 Ti with the Ryzen 5 7600X CPU as part of my Be Quiet PC build powered by MSI. If you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them on Amazon at the links in the description below. By the way, we've almost reached 1000 subscribers on my second channel, so I would really much appreciate it if you help me to achieve that dream of 1000 subs. Just go and subscribe to the channel, the link is in the description below, or simply search for iVadim Unbox. Let's start with God of War Ragnarok. We are at native 1080p using DLAA and graphics quality preset is set to Ultra. This area in the game is a little bit more demanding than the starting area. We are seeing 70 plus FPS and even dips to around 64, 63 from time to time, which is still fine because this is a solid 60 plus FPS experience. Our VRAM usage stays below 7GB, which is good, and the GPU power is around 150 watts. What is that? Let's get rid of it. Yes. I wonder, will we be able to use frame generation in this game? Let's select NVIDIA DLSS frame generation and see what happens. Because we do need extra VRAM to run this feature. And in this particular case, it appears that it's working, but yeah, I don't like how that frame rate looked right there. And yeah, I can actually feel when I'm panning the camera, the experience is not as smooth. Even though we're getting a lot more FPS, the experience is not as smooth. So I think we should wait for a patch because I've had a similar thing happen when I was testing the 4070 Super. Yeah, it's just one of those things that need to get patched. If you're looking to achieve higher FPS, then there is another way to go about it. So let's disable frame generation and set graphics preset to high, just one level lower than Ultra. It didn't give us as much of a performance boost as I had hoped, but still, it is something. 80 plus over here, and then 69, nice, over there. Overall, it stays above 70, which is pretty good. I mean, if you're looking to improve performance and just not worry about the FPS dropping to 60 in worst case scenarios, then this might be the way to go. Although personally, I would still keep it on Ultra unless I see that the performance is dropping a bit too much for my liking, and only then I would lower the quality. Black Myth Wukong is one of the most GPU demanding games of 2024, so I'll be happy to see if we can achieve a good experience at native 1080p using very high graphics preset. Later, we'll also take a look at full ray tracing performance of the 4060 Ti just for fun. Oh, check it out. This is actually not too bad. We're getting 60 to 62 FPS. Yeah, sometimes even reaching 70. Haha, let's go. Yeah, this is not too bad. It seems that the game developers were actually targeting the 4060 Ti to be their 1080p GPU. And our VRAM usage is below 7GB, so we might as well test frame generation. Let's apply it and see what happens. Oh yes. 90 FPS plus, 100 FPS plus in some other scenes. Image fluidity is great. And VRAM usage is at around 7GB. Those frame rate and frame time graphs are pretty flat. Well, not always because of those usual Unreal Engine 5 stutters, but that's just how the game engine is. Unreal Engine 5 is suffering from this problem, so it's not due to lack of memory. The image fluidity is pretty good, and latency is not a problem because we have pretty high base FPS. 60 plus we had, which means that the game feels absolutely fine. The controls are responsive, I can dodge very quickly and precisely. Nice. Let's try something else. Let's disable frame generation and use DLSS. Let's set it to quality mode. That's 68% in this game. There we go. Because this is a very fast-paced game, it actually matters how much FPS we got. So I'm just curious to see if we can achieve higher FPS with resolution upscaling enabled. And yes, indeed, we are getting a bit more FPS, but it's not by much. It's not like game-changing. But if you're looking for that extra performance, then you might as well enable resolution upscaling to boost FPS a little bit. Although the image quality will suffer. 1080p is already looking pretty rough, especially when you're looking at finer objects such as leaves, grass, as well as fur on the characters. It doesn't look as nice as at native 1080p. It is a huge trade-off that I personally think is not worth it. Performance at native resolution was absolutely fine. Let's go back to native resolution and let's try ray tracing now. Let's set it to medium because low doesn't look as good. With medium you get more ray tracing features that look nice. Let's give it a go. Wait, what? We're getting above 50 FPS? Huh. This is unexpected. I thought that ray tracing will absolutely obliterate our performance, but this is actually playable. And just have a look at how the game transformed. The shadows are now more realistic, they're not shimmering. Yeah, this looks very nice. The only thing about medium ray tracing preset is that it does not offer ray traced reflections, which are my favorite. But this is actually quite good. It is playable. If you want to experience some ray tracing, then the 4060 Ti can actually deliver a playable experience. Surprising. Oh my god, it got me from behind. My guy, don't do that. Right now we are pushing boundaries of our memory capacity. We are at 7.2 to 7.4 gigabytes usage. Let's see what happens if we enable very high ray tracing. Yeah, we've definitely ran out of video memory because our DRAM is at 17 gigabytes now, whereas previously it was something like 15 gigabytes. So there's definitely assets spilling over out of the video memory and into DDR5. That's not what we want to see, so I would not recommend playing this game using this particular set of settings. It's still great to see that the graphics card can actually achieve a somewhat reasonable frame rate using the very high ray tracing preset. So you can kind of check out what it's all about. I don't think it's a good idea to actually keep playing like this because 1, lower FPS, and 2, we don't have enough VRAM to actually fit in all of those assets into our VRAM buffer. Just 8 gigabytes is not enough to run ray tracing. Next up is Space Marine 2. We are at native 1080p using DLSS as our anti-aliasing solution, and in this game we are forced to use high graphics quality preset because watch what happens if I want to increase it to ultra. It says that we are out of video memory. I wonder what will happen if we increase that graphics quality preset despite this warning message of low VRAM. Yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, the game wasn't kidding. Something is happening. We're getting 9 FPS. Oh no. Yeah, this is not great. We definitely don't have enough video memory to run this game. And that is a real shame because yeah, I'm pretty sure that the 4060 Ti could handle the game on Ultra preset. I'm talking about the GPU, of course, but the lack of video memory is apparent, and it is unfortunate. What makes things even worse is that the 16GB version of the 4060 Ti is way more expensive, and it is difficult to justify that kind of purchase for 1080p gaming. So let's test it on high. We're getting above 100 FPS in some scenes, and 90 plus to 80 plus in other scenes. I'm actually curious if the Ryzen 5 7600X will do okay in this game, because even the i7-14700KF CPU in my other system drops frames when I encounter large hordes of enemies. Oh, there we go. This is a large group of enemies. And yeah, FPS definitely does drop, 66, 70 plus, but it's not too bad. Actually, I expected worse. But this is not the largest horde of enemies I've encountered in this game, so I'm guessing we will get worse performance in some scenes. The CPU load is high, take a look at that, it's reaching 60%. Wow. Overall, the experience is still quite nice and fairly smooth, but there are still some hitches here and there. I guess it's because we have a weaker CPU, because this game is very CPU intensive. Yeah, it's just all over the place with this game. The performance is not as stable as I would have liked. I think that the game developers still have some optimizations to do. I think we can actually see more of bottlenecks over here, where there's more enemies. Yes, let's go. 66% CPU utilization. That's crazy. And 1% lows are getting worse. We're now 36 FPS, 1% lows. 48. My God. Oh, there's so much going on. Overall, the performance is fine. It's pretty much what I expected, and the gameplay is smooth enough to enjoy the game. Overall, the 4060 Ti continues delivering good experience even in the latest games in the last quarter of 2024. However, 8GB of memory is not enough to play some of the latest games in 2024, as demonstrated by Space Marine 2. Yeah, the GPU can handle it, but there's just not enough VRAM to do that. Don't forget that AMD has decent graphics cards at this price point as well. For example, the RX 7700 XT with 12GB of memory, which will actually deliver a better experience than the 8GB 4060 Ti. Yes, AMD's FSR resolution upscaling is pretty bad compared to DLSS, but at 1080p I do not recommend using resolution upscaling anyway, because it just looks bad no matter what you're using, DLSS or FSR, both look bad. And as long as you're sticking to native 1080p, it is best to get the RX 7700 XT. But that's what I think. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this AMD versus Nvidia argument? And if you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them on Amazon at the links in the description below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, iVadim Unbox, link in the description below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to reward my work with a like, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.